Good morning, students. Take your English textbook Beehive to page number 72. We have completed or we have stopped yesterday with the paragraph number 8, where we saw that his science teacher, Siv Subramania Iyer, Orthodox Brahmin teacher, and who had a conservative wife, that is very close-minded wife, not at all a very open, not open, very close. Okay, but then he wanted to do something to break these social barriers. What was the barriers? He wanted to break this so that people from different backgrounds, different culture, different religion could mingle, could mix easily. And so he used to spend a lot of time with Abdul Kalam and would tell a lot of encouragement. You see, telling Kalam, I want you to develop, I want you to study hard so that you are on par with, on par means here on equal with the highly educated people of the big cities. People, they think only in the big cities people can study and can only educated people are in the big cities. Not at all. Even in the smaller cities, the villages also, people are there highly educated and they can do it. So now we'll continue with the 9th paragraph. Yeah. One day he invited me to his home for a meal. Who is this he? It's his teacher. Can you imagine, one teacher is inviting him for a meal? Siv Subramania Iyer was the science teacher. His wife was horrified. Horrified means she couldn't understand how can it be possible. Such a high caste they are and calling this Muslim boy for food. It was something unbelievable for his wife. Remember, she was a very conservative wife. She couldn't understand. He was horrified. He was frightened. How can it be? Horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. Dine means dinner, to dine, to eat. Okay? Ritually pure kitchen means ritually pure, to keep or protected from all outside influences for the observances of religion. Nobody, there are certain earlier days, it is now people are much more aware and much more open minded. Earlier days, and mainly in the villages, one caste will not enter the kitchen of another caste. It's very, very strong. And so she kept her kitchen actually pure, ritual pure. Nobody, no outsiders can enter in the kitchen, and much more to do with the other caste. And so she refused to serve me in her kitchen. She said, I'm not going to serve. I'm not going to give food in my kitchen. And so what happened? You see, Siv Subramania Iyer was not perturbed. Not perturbed means not disturbed. Perturbed is to disturbed. Write down please. He was not perturbed. He was not disturbed. He knew very well. He wanted to teach lesson to his wife. That's why he did this. He wanted his wife should improve. Nor did he get angry with his wife. He didn't get angry with his wife. Can you imagine what an insult? Somebody has called for dinner to eat, and then family members are not happy. What an insult for it. But neither Abdul Kalam felt anything, nor this teacher. He was not disturbed, neither he got angry, but instead served me with his own hands. You see, okay, you are not giving, I will serve. Something like that. And so he served in his own hands and sat down beside me to eat his meal. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. When I was leaving his house, Siv Subramania Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. Observing my hesitation, he told me not to get upset, saying, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. When I visited his house the next week, Siv Subramania Iyer's wife took me inside her kitchen and served me food with her own hands. You see what a change took place within a week. Are you understanding? You see, the teacher served in his own hand and they sat down together. You see in the picture, they sat down together and they ate. And his wife, what she did, she was watching how they were eating from behind the kitchen door. And then I wondered means he couldn't understand, this boy, small boy, whether she saw any difference between him, this small boy, and her husband, whether they ate the rice or drank water or cleanse the floor after the meal, it was something different. Earlier days in the villages, even till now, you have to sit that's the Indian culture, to sit on the floor. You have your meal and then clean the floor where you have been sitting and eating your meal. And so he did that. So there wasn't any difference. And so when he was leaving the house, this master invited him to join the for dinner again the next weekend. Naturally, this boy was hesitated. Hesitation means confusion, whether to say yes or no. That's called hesitation. And this master realized that, and he's telling, not to get upset. Don't get upset, because if you are deciding to change the system, which system? This caste system. Such problems have to be confronted. It has to be challenged. It has to be faced. And now, when the next week when he visited, you see what a change has taken place in his wife's life. She took him inside her kitchen and served him food with her own hands. You see what a change took place. 10th paragraph. Then the second war was over. When it was over, I told you 1945-46 in between, okay? And India's freedom was imminent. Imminent means certain. It was sure to come. Freedom was supposed to, and we got it 1947 within a year. Indians will build their own India, declared Gandhiji. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. Unprecedented optimism meaning nobody could stop that much positive thinking. Optimism means positive, with hope, uncomparable positive thinking, or the hope that India is going to get freedom. It was an imminent, for sure. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameswaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. That was the district headquarters, okay? That he has to go there for his higher studies, because in the villages will not be the higher studies facilities. He told me, 11th paragraph, as if thinking aloud, Abul, you see, this is what they were calling him, the short name is Abul. I know you have to go away to grow. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a nest? He quoted Khalil Gibran to my hesitant mother. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You see, we finished APJ Abdul Kalam, an extract from Wings of Fire. Extract means is taken from. You see, he has to ask permission from his father that I have to go to the district headquarters for my higher studies. And his father, did he forbid him? Did he tell no? No, just the opposite. Telling, I know you have to go away to grow. You are going away to grow, not to waste time and not for some any other purpose, but to grow. And now he is quoting Khalil Gibran, you see. You see, giving the examples, comparing with the seagull. You have seen the seagull in the sea, the seagull, beautiful birds. They won't fly above the sea. Does the seagull not fly across the sun? They are flying across the sun, high, very high, alone and without a nest. There is no nest. In the sea, what nest? That means so free they are. And now he quoted Khalil Gibran because his mother was hesitant. His father gave permission, okay, but then mother was hesitant. She usually mothers feel very bad not to be separated from their children, and so he was hesitant. What he said? Who was Khalil Gibran? He was a great philosopher. So many books he has written. Khalil Gibran. He's saying, "Your children are not your children." And they are sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you. You are giving birth, it is true, but not from you. You will not be able to give life. They are coming through you. You are the channel, only source. Parents are only the source. You may give them your love. It's a duty to give your love, but not your thoughts. Children have their own thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. I hope you have understood. It is very easy. You see here you have the map of what do you call Rameswaram. Find out Dhanuskodi and Rameswaram on the map. What languages do you think are spoken here? What languages do you think the author, his family, his friends and his teachers spoke with one another? What language they would speak there in Tamil Nadu? Tamil. Like how in Gujarat, what language do you speak? Gujarati. In Tamil Nadu, Tamil. Kerala, Malayalam. Okay. Now you have to find out here the which place you have to find out. You have to find out Rameswaram and Dhanushkodi. You see already they have put for you here. Rameswaram. It's an island. You see in the Tamil Nadu, in the state of Tamil Nadu, you have to find out. Okay. Then you have in the next page, you see 75, you have got your questions. All the short questions and long questions you will have to write in your notebook. Quickly, you can write your own. Okay, search the answer and you can write your own. I have no problem. But quickly, I will be telling you some of the only the questions answers. Okay. First, where was Abdul Kalam's house? Where it was? It was on the Mosque Street in Rameswaram. Second, what do you think Dinamani is the name of? Give a reason for your answer. I told you already. Dinamani. What was Dinamani? It is a name of a newspaper. I told you. Abdul Kalam attempts to trace the Second World War's news in the headlines of this newspaper. That you will find in paragraph number 3rd. Dinamani is a newspaper. Okay. Third, who were Abdul Kalam's school friends? What did they later become? You see, he had how many friends? First of all, 3 friends. They were Ramnath Sastri, Aravindan and Shiv Prakashan. That you will find in the paragraph number 4. And what they became, second part you will find in the next page. In the 4th paragraph towards the end you will find. You see, Ramnath Sastri became a priest of the Rameswaram temple. Aravindan went into the business of arranging transport for visiting pilgrims. And Shiv Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railways. Fourth, how did Abdul Kalam earn his first wages? That we will find in the paragraph number 3rd. He earned his first wages by distributing newspapers. And also who helped him? His cousin Samsuddin. Towards the end of paragraph number 3rd he will get. Had he earned any money before that? In what way? The same paragraph in the beginning you will find the answer. He earned money before also. He used to collect the tamarind seeds and sell them to a provision shop on the Mosque Street. A day's collection would fetch him the princely sum of 1 anna. During the First World War in 1939, there was a sudden demand for this tamarind seed. Answer each of the questions in a short paragraph about 30 words. How does the author describe his father, his mother and himself? You see, his father as a wise and generous person in the first paragraph, as well as in 4th paragraph you will find. Okay, answer. He felt happy when he helped others. He did not have much formal education and riches. He was a man of confidence and great wisdom. He avoided inessential comforts and luxuries. In the 2nd paragraph also you will find all this. His mother was a noble and kind-hearted woman. In 4th paragraph, she used to feed a large number of people. In the 1st paragraph, she had all the attributes of a typical Indian mother. Lot of generosity. And about himself, he says, I was born into a middle class Tamil family. I was a short boy with rather undistinguished looks. That is in the 2nd paragraph. Born to a tall and handsome parents. You see, he says my parents were handsome but not I. This is what he meant. I studied physics and aerospace engineering and became a scientist. Second, what characteristics does he say he inherited from his parents? Same answers, of course. He says humility and benevolence from his parents. He learned lessons in honesty and integrity from his parents. He was self-disciplined because of his parents' exemplary life, because his parents were such. Third part, discuss these questions in class with your teacher and then write down your answers in 2 or 3 paragraphs each. Long answers, okay? These are. On the whole, the small society of Rameswaram was very rigid in terms of the segregation of different social groups, says the author. Which social groups does he mention? Were these groups easily identifiable, for example, by the way they dressed? Were they aware only of their differences, or did they also naturally share friendships and experiences? Think of the bedtime stories in Kalam's house, of who his friends were and of what used to take place in the pond near his house. All these are the points is given, okay? On that you have to write. The first point, for example, the author talks about the people who belong to various castes and follow various religious preachings. These groups were easily identifiable. Their dressing, traditions, cultures, rituals were different. Second one, about the author speaks of both the people who are very aware of the differences among them and those who try to bridge these differences. Can you identify such people in the text? Okay. The second one, they did share their personal experiences and friendships. In the second point, I am talking about Lakshmana Sastri summoned the teacher who separated the author and his friend in the class and told him that he should not spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the minds of innocent children. And the third, no, can you identify such people in the text? The school teacher encouraged communal differences and Lakshmana Sastri and Sibasubramania Iyer discouraged this malpractice. These are the two people who fought for the justice or equality. Narrate two incidents that show how differences can be created and how they can be resolved. How can people change their attitudes? The influential people can do both the things. Teacher has the ability to bridge communal differences and can play with sentiments of the innocent and ignorant people. This is what the new teacher did. But the science teacher, Shiv Subramania Iyer, changed his wife's attitude and showed her the right path. Second, why did Abdul Kalam want to leave Rameshwaram? Why he wanted to leave Rameshwaram? To study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. Second, what did his father say to this? He said that he knew he had to go away to grow. He gave the example of a seagull and said that the seagull flies across the sun alone and without a nest. Third, what do you think his words mean? Why do you think he spoke these words? He spoke these words because he intended to bring out the skill that his son was having. He knew the harsh reality of the life that children may have to live far from their parents. It is very painful for the parents to leave their children, to make their career and earn their livelihood. So he showed his wisdom and intelligence in uttering these words. Now, thinking about the language, please do it by yourself. Okay, that match the column. Second one is match the columns, their meanings. Find out. Broke out means what? In accordance with, helping hand. Please find out. If you cannot do, then please let me know. You are in the group. You ask any questions or any grammar questions are remaining which you cannot do. You tell me. This match the columns you do in the textbook only, because this kind of questions are not going. Sometimes they can ask you the meaning. So please find out the answer. You can write in the notebook also. Okay, and this is the next one is grammar. You see adjective, I suppose they are asking you to write this prefix un or in to put this. Okay, example, they have a relation, irrational, rational, irrational, practical, impractical, adequate, what will come? Inadequate, in, demanding, what will come? Again, in, ir or im. Okay, just give in there. You find out and write this. Study the sentence. Passive voice, active, passive, very good. This you have to do it, okay, because you have learned it. I have already posted the change the voice. My parents were regarded as an ideal couple. Please change into passive voice. I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. You find out whether it is, if it is in active, you have to make it passive. If it is in the passive voice, you have to make it an active voice. Such problems have to be confronted. 3 are there. Write down in your notebook. And please, you since only 3 answers are questions are there, please whoever is doing, write it in the WhatsApp and send, so that I will see there whether it is right or no. Okay. Again, you see fourth one also is there. They are asking changing the verbs in brackets into the passive form. In yesterday's competition, the prizes gave away by the principal. You see here it is there. So make it an active voice. Okay. Whenever it is in yesterday competition, the prizes were given away by the principal. Give away, given away, because yesterday's. Clear? So this way you have to write down change the voice. So all this change the voice, Please you write down and you post it in the WhatsApp group so that others also will see and learn the question answer. And now six chapter questions answer has to be ready. Have a good day, students. Thank you.